Steve, your impressions of what you heard and saw today from Pelly, Shanahan, and Treliving.
There was a Shakespearean play written many years ago called Much Ado About Nothing. And that's kind of what I heard today. I could modernize that and bring it to same old, same old. But what I heard is that Brendan Shanahan is still in charge of the Leafs, and Keith Pelly is the new guy in town in charge of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. And Brad Treliving is the general manager who's been here a year. And the only person who paid in any way for the misfortunes of the Maple Leafs this season is Sheldon Keefe, who's been fired as coach. And Shanahan said in the press conference today that we're not going to single anyone out. Well, he didn't single anyone out. He fired him yesterday.
So I don't know why you two are surprised that nothing came out of a press conference. How many press conferences have you been to, Simmons, in your life?
I lost track. It's got to be in
1,000, maybe.
Yeah.
And how many of them have revealed anything significant?
I think we're in that probably 8.
I'll bet you the number is 0.
Okay, well, I'm just thinking sometimes
that's what a press conference is. It's a bullshit discussion.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, the way it works is they have an entire room of reporters, and you get to ask a question. You don't get to follow up your question. You don't get to further explore what it is you're trying to find out. Then the next question goes to another reporter or newsman, and they work on whatever they're interested in. And so there's no connecting the dots from question to question,
I get that.
And answer to answer.
But a press conference is set up by and designed by the participants, the guys who are on at the dais.
Oh, and absolutely.
What they want to do is as little as possible, and make you think you're being provided with some kind of special access, and you aren't.
Well, a lot depends sometimes on who you are and how you deal with the people involved on a regular basis. So if you do the job the way I do, which is you talk to Brendan Shanahan or Brad Treliving or Keith Pelly or whomever is in charge of whatever reasonably often. And so when they go into a press conference, you're not going to hear anything in a press conference that you haven't already heard them say 42 times before then. Well, for the people who don't get that opportunity or don't pursue the business that way, then they don't. This is their opportunity to get to talk to people they normally don't talk to. And so they're looking at least for that access. But what it is, Bob, and this is what Maple Leaf Sports and the Toronto Maple Leafs and all of the teams in pro sports try to do today, is they try and control the message. And the Maple Leafs did a very good job today of controlling the message.
Right. Well, in other words, say nothing.
What did you want to hear, Steve?
I would have wanted Keith Pelly to say, I'm relatively new here. Brendan Shanahan's been here 10 years. We don't like what we just saw in the playoffs, and I'm going to have to take his position and whatever under search right now and take a look at where I think the Leafs are and whether he should still be in that position. Now, I wasn't going to hear that, but that's what I thought I should have heard.
So Pelly did not give Shanahan a green light for the future.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. He said Brendan Shanahan is the president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I like the chemistry and unity at the top of my company.
That's
right?
absurd.
That's what he said, right, Steve?
Absolutely. He kept we heard a lot of buzzwords today. So clearly the PR guys, the spin doctors behind the scenes, planted the good buzzwords with the people doing the talking. And
right.
therefore we heard, clarity and unity, and we all wanted to break into song at one point in time.
So let me ask you this, because the fans are really upset. The fans are upset this year, and I know they're upset every year, but it appears to be different this time around. Do you think that would have placated what the fans want to hear and see?
No, because the one thing about Maple Leaf fans, as dumb as they may appear at times, They are reasonably sophisticated. And so you can't throw junk at them and expect them to buy it. And one of the things Shanahan did today, he said, we're going to investigate this. I'm paraphrasing now. We're going to look at all of this. Well, isn't that what every team in sports does every day of every year? And at the end of every season, they do a deep dive into everything that went on. Isn't that what you do every single day? That's your job. That's not just sports. That's business. That's my business. It's your business. Everybody looks at what they do and how they do it and how they get better and all of that. And Brendan Shanahan for 10 years has been doing this. And for 10 years hasn't figured out why in the heck they can't score come playoff time.